Okay, this is to Chris Mathews on Hardball. My name is Robert H. Williams, 2453 Route 11, Main Street, Morris. You can look up the phone number. Actually, it's 518-236-6733. Leave a message since I have caller ID. Your statement yesterday that people believe in conspiracy theorists and stuff like JFK, people who believe that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't shoot JFK. There's actually a lot of evidence to support that conspiracy theory. Okay, you are actually in the minority for people who actually do some research on the web, which you totally misrepresented. Okay, so as a news person and mainstream media, you are giving out false information. You're actually lying to the public when you say that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter when there was actually over 6 bullets. 4 that were actually gotten by audio, and 6 that they found in chips and other things that they reconstructed. On my website, My Common Sense Politics, either .com or .net, this is mycommonsensepolitics.com or .net. In the video section on the left-hand side, you'll see the section for videos. In the video section, there are categories. Under the JFK category, you will find videos from the original doctors at Parkland Memorial Hospital. These are the first doctors who looked at the president's body. Okay? They actually looked at the body before it was embalmed, before it was taken away. They took the body out of the car directly into these doctors. These doctors tell that he got shot from the forefront to the forehead and had his brains blown out the back of his head. There was no brains, no skull whatsoever. Okay? These are the doctors that originally looked at JFK. There is no way that Lee Harvey Oswald, up in the book repository, could have made a front shot on a moving car through trees when the car was driving away from him, if he was actually up there. There are also other videos in there that sure improve that there was a Secret Service stand down. Now, there are other conspiracy theories out there that we could get into, but your reassertion of this is just why people out here have to stop believing in mainstream media, because you refuse to look at the facts. The 9/11 Commission hasn't got a true sentence in it. It sounds radical, but if you realize that a sentence is part of a paragraph, which is part of an argument, there is no true argument in the 9/11 Commission. There is no other explanation for 9/11 happening except controlled demolition. In fact, they can't even explain about Building 7, how Building 7 fell, so they don't even mention Building 7 in the report. There are also photographs of the Pentagon showing a hole that's only 20 to 30 feet wide, not the size that a 757 would make, an airplane would make. Okay, it's just impossible for the worst flyer of the 19 hijackers, many of which were still alive, to have pulled off 9/11. Okay. And why every piece of material on this crime scene was taken away within days, and when nobody was allowed near the site. It was sealed off. All the center core columns were cut in 30-foot sections, and it had a molten fire for weeks and weeks and weeks after the collapse. There is no way that jet fuel alone does this. This November, New York City is going to have a choice to actually vote on having a new independent 9/11 Commission with the subpoena power and putting people in jail if they commit perjury on why 9/11 happened, why there was no jets, why there was no scrambling, and why Dick Cheney, who said he didn't know about the plane coming into the Pentagon, was told repeatedly by a guy coming into the FAA, by the FAA commissioner's own statement to the 9/11 Commission, that he was told it was 50 miles out. 30 miles out, 20 miles out, 10 miles out, and he asked the vice president, does the order still stand? And the vice president, in his angry tone, turned around and snapped at the young person in uniform, said, have you heard any orders to the contrary? You in mainstream media need to understand, we people out here in America who elected Obama, have faith in Obama. We're not out here to blow up or run into buildings or monuments or things like that just to make a political statement. We're trying to make a political statement via the web and through argument, rational argument. Twice, President Obama had online questionnaires about what the people wanted changed most. Both times that they did this, the repeal and of hemp laws was the #1 issue. And Obama has said no, that repeal of hemp laws is not going to happen. Yet hemp cures cancer. And also in the video section under hemp, you will find proof that hemp cures cancer. There's a lot of other things that we can discuss, but my time is limited in what I can put forth here. You need to answer why mainstream media does not ask questions of what the official press release people are asking and giving and the answers. Because they're not. And you even admit that there was no real push for evidence on the rush to war with Iraq. That the mainstream media is just as culpable as Dick Cheney and George Bush for lying us into war in Iraq. There was never any weapons of mass destruction. The only chemical weapons that he had were the ones that we sold him, that Donald Rumsfeld went over there and exchanged handshakes with Saddam Hussein to take on a war against Iran. Because we were pissed that Iran had ousted the CIA Shah. So don't give me any bullcrap about how good America is, because Pearl Harbor was allowed to happen. The Gulf of Tonkin is now proven to have been a false flag event. Nothing happened. It took 58,000 American lives. That Black Wall in Washington, D.C. was based on a lie. You in the mainstream media need to understand that there's people out here who are nonviolent. I'm a disabled person. I have had 3 open heart surgeries. My wife is paralyzed. I'm not going anywhere to attack anything. But on My Common Sense Politics, either .com or .net, in the video sections, there are truths, brutal truths, common sense brutal truths that you in the mainstream, that you as a hardball, don't have the hard balls to answer to. This is Bob Williams in Moores, New York. My Common Sense Politics, either .com or .net. If you got the hard balls, Chris, answer.